Yeah, you make a post in the forum. I get ready to stream. All right. So we are finally into the game, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize about the delay. We were having some streaming issues, Rockwell dropping the ball, things of that nature. We are finally into the game. We have our two teams here, Kawaii Desu versus Vigilante Gaming. Looks like we will have Kawaii Desu starting in on the right, the blue team, with Vigilante Gaming coming in on the purple side. I am going to be joined today by Ryan, will be my co-caster. Ryan, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. Good to be
And,
here today.
yeah.
So we're into the picks and bans. So Talon, Leona, first bans for Kawaii Desu, and Caitlyn banned out by Vigilante Gaming, and Jace as well. Talon kind of starting to make a resurgence along with some of the other, with the whole assassin meta. He's one of those champions that even if he gets a little bit behind in the laning phase, he can still roam, and it's very hard to really lock him down unless you have a really good stun lock on him from multiple people. So he's kind of been making a resurgence along with several of the other assassin mids. Jace, a generally strong champion. There's Zed going out as well. Those other assassin mids.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going pretty quickly into picks and bans here. We kind of expected that Zed to be taken out, especially after the play that he just got in Worlds. No one really wants to deal with his Zed right now, I don't think, be you Faker or not. And we will see that Lux as that final ban coming in from I believe that's Kawaii Desu. Or sorry, Vigilante Gaming.
And then the Corki locked in. Corki having that huge resurgence with the Triforce buffs. And then,
wow, instant Rammus lock.
Yep. I believe it's Sham Savior who is the jungler for Vigilante Gaming, and he is a huge fan of Rammus. He really likes that champion. The 3-second taunt is really, really strong.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That's a pretty big pick. We will see how that works out for them later on in the game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you think that. Do you think that's going to work out if they do go for that?
It depends on what the top and mid lane are played. If they're really long range champions who don't need to go in, Rammus isn't as scary. But if you have someone like a Jax or anyone sort of similar to that, a fighter style champion, Rammus can really just grab them and lock them down from getting to your backline for a fairly long period of time. So he's very good against champions like that. Also with the Blitzcrank in there as well. If Blitzcrank hooks someone, with a Rammus standing right there, they're dead. They're not going to be able to run away. They won't even be able to flash away. Blitz hook into his knock up into Rammus taunt means that person is dead.
Absolutely right. And we did see an Orianna pick coming into the mid lane there for Kawaii Desu, also going to be looking at picking up that Sona support. Sona, always good support, very good. The Crescendo ultimate really synergizes well with that Orianna shockwave, so we will see some ultimate combos coming out there, hopefully. Now going back over to Vigilante Gaming, it looks like they are going to try and pick up the Ashe, possibly, hovering over that. Ashe, pretty good for that initiation. She has that arrow on a fairly low CD. Late game can really bring in some team fights capability if she wants to, and that Singed as well. Singed, we haven't really seen a whole lot of Singed, actually, in the Halifax League Circuit tournaments. So this could be one of the few times, and we will see that.
And then there's the Vladimir to really bully on the Singed early with his damage, and you can't. And once Vladimir hits about level... Vladimir is really impossible to get out of lane once he hits about level 9. But at around level 11 to around level 13 or so, 12 to 13, he can clear waves incredibly quickly, so Singed won't really be able to push on him anymore at that point. And they'll just kind of be standing around top lane, not doing much, and they'll have to run at that point. We do have the J4 locked in for the jungle for Kawaii Desu, and that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be, that's their ball delivery system. That's J4 EQs in with an Orianna ball, Orianna ults, J4 ults, Sona ults, Vlad throws his ult on that, and Corki sitting in the background tossing missiles.
Exactly. And we will see that Syndra locked in the mid lane to counter that Orianna. Syndra-Orianna, always a very good matchup to see. Kind of comes down to a skill-based matchup. I wouldn't say any champion gets the real advantage over the other one just based on stats alone. But so far, if you take a look at the teams, we're seeing from Kawaii Desu a really team-fighting centered strategy here. They're going for the ultimate combo chain. You got the Vlad ult, you got the Sona coming in with the crescendo, you've got that Orianna shockwave, and then you, as you mentioned, you've got that Jarvan cataclysm, all trying to stack one on top of each other to try to take out Vigilante Gaming here. What do you see coming in from Vigilante Gaming? Is it a pick strategy? What do you think?
It You have Blitzcrank and Syndra who can Blitz can pull someone in. Syndra has a fairly long range stun. Then you have the Ash arrow. I mean, Ash arrow in and of itself is amazing initiation. And then if multiple people are slowed down greatly by the Ash arrow, then Blitzcrank can get an easy grab. Singe can run in and fling someone out. Syndra can get an easy stun. Rammus can try and get there and lock on someone. Now, they're going to want to try and get a lockdown onto onto Orianna or Corki. Vlad will be much harder to try and get a lockdown just because he does have that pool. So, he can drop down and they won't be able to do anything. And they'll have to be careful about if they do try and engage onto the Vladimir, because if they're, you have Rammus running in, you have Singe running in. Ash actually has fairly long range. Syndra, not the longest range mage in the game. Obviously, with the distance that ball can travel when knocked by her E is very great, but her herself is not the longest of ranges. If they get too close, because let's say they hit an Ash arrow onto the Vlad and they all come flying in, if he can pool and then Sona can just turn around and ult, and then he comes up from his pool, drops his ult, Ori ult, Jarvan ult. That's actually worst case scenario, is the counter engage from Kawaii Desu is actually really terrifying.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And honestly, I think we're going to see a lot of pressure coming into that mid lane against that Syndra. Syndra, if she can get snowballing, can assassinate any one single target in the game just at will. So I think we're going to see Jarvan probably hang around the mid lane, try to pressure out Muffin Man, trying to get him a little bit farther behind and give Orianna the chance to pull ahead in this game. If Orianna can get farmed, Vlad can hold their own. I'm pretty sure, honestly, just based on team fit, picks and bans alone, I think the stronger team is going to go to Kawaii Desu here. They seem to have a team that has more synergy together. Now, don't get me wrong. If a Blitzcrank pull can end a game, and that can also change a game, but if Blitzcranks, for example, can't land those grabs, Rammus can't really get going in the jungle, we will probably see a bit of a snowball-y game coming in here from Kawaii Desu.
And I mean, there's really no one that Blitz wants to pull other than Sona, because Corki will be able to Valk out of his pull. If Vlad gets pulled in, well, he's just going to ult and then pool. Jarvan doesn't really mind, because if he doesn't get bursted down, then he's just going to be able to throw his Cataclysm down on top of, 3 or 4 members, and Blitzcrank has just done Jarvan's job for him, at which point Sona could flash ulti, and then the Shockwave comes in. Ori getting pulled would also be a good thing, but if Ori lives long enough to get off her Shockwave while she's been pulled, that's not good, because that's going to be a huge amount of damage, because everyone's going to be crowding in around her as well. The Blitzcrank hooks have got to be very spot on. He's got to hit Sona with them, basically.
Yeah, taking Sona out and getting that crescendo out early will be a pretty big thing if they can get that. We are just about at the end of our 3-minute delay, ladies and gentlemen. We will be getting into the game momentarily. While we are in this loading screen, wanted to quickly just apologize once more for the delays with the stream today. Unfortunately, we were scrambling at the last minute to get the stream up and running, but because we are a little bit late streaming today, I guess that we will be streaming a best of 3, I believe, the series will go to. Ryan, if possible, would you mind just changing the title on Twitch to be, instead of Grand Finals, to reflect the 2 teams that are playing?
So this is
Kawaii Desu and Vigilante Gaming, best of 3.
Got it.
Perfect. So while you're doing that, I'll just chat a little bit.
Alright, I'll switch that up.
Excellent. So as usual, ladies and gentlemen, want to give a big thanks to the moderators of the league groups, Mock and Lee, for keeping everything going pretty smoothly. Want to give a big thanks to Ryan as well, who is currently streaming for us. He came in at the last minute, saved the day. So we do appreciate that as well. We will be doing our best today to, unfortunately we don't have access to the stream overlays, so it won't be as fancy as last weekend, but hopefully we can still provide a pretty good experience. We are into the game right now. In just a second here, it's just loading up.
Yes, it
There we
is.
go.
I'm going to just adjust up the champion so that they are against their corresponding lanes.
Ryan, we are a few seconds ahead from the game to the stream, so it's probably a good idea that we cast what's going on in the stream rather than in the game.
Yep. Alright. So, just hoping that it's still streaming the entire game, that there's no black borders or anything. Alright. Onto the stream now. Is the stream working?
I think it's frozen. I seem to not be able to see what's going on.
Singed.
There we go.
Where are you at on the stream right now?
Yeah, we'll just cast what's going on the stream. We're about 5 seconds behind in the actual game. So, Sins just went into the jungle trying to get some pressure into the red. We do see an invade coming in here from Kawaii Desu right now.
The stream freezes every time I am not actually watching the game itself. I
That's
can't
okay.
cast off the stream.
That's okay. I will just do that then.
Minions have spawned.
It's very strange. I haven't seen that happen before.
Just technical difficulties we're dealing with. So we'll just try and cast as close to the stream as possible, just because of the delay, which we are working on the technical issues, trying to get that figured out, but we will probably do that in intermission here. Just to give everyone what's going on right now, look, there was a bit of an invade coming in from Kawaii Desu. They decided to back off, and it looks like they will just be doing the standard blue coming up here, and there it is, pops up. Oriana will get a little bit of a damage onto it, and we'll see pretty much the same start coming in here from Vigilante Gaming. Both mid laners going to go back to their lanes and just farm it out.
No. Singe does not have his Ghost, but Ghost, not actually a very long cooldown. In fact, the cooldown for that is almost half up already. But Vladimir started without a ward. He did start that Amplifying Tome, so he's got almost 60 AP at level 1. Not running any armor, or it appears magic resist. Just a lot of AP on this Vladimir. So he's going to be looking to really bully Singed early. Use his Q. He's probably going to be looking to use his Q pretty much on cooldown to harass Singed.
If possible, we'll let the directed cam do some work as well, just so we see across the map here. Jarvan in the jungle, taking his red buff, level 2, just trying to work his way. He will be stealing that, actually, from the jungle of Rammus, from Kawaii Desu, so that will put him a little bit further ahead.
Rammus going to come to his red buff now, realize it is gone.
There
Down
it
in the
is.
bot lane there. We just see the two lanes just sort of farming off. Starting items, we do see the doubles. I'm turning that off. Sorry. We do see the double Fairy Charm out of Syndra.
You can just press D for the directed cam. It'll go on and off. And back in the top lane there, as mentioned, we will see Singed pulling pretty closely in terms of farm. However, we do see in the jungle a little bit of a disparity coming in, 4 farm to 14, although we did see that red steal from Jarvan. So Rammus currently a little bit ahead, even despite that steal. As you take a look here, he's actually a level ahead of Jarvan.
Their experience is very similar, though, because Jarvan has gotten the 3 buffs to Rammus's 2.
Very true, absolutely, you're right. Jarvan will be just farming it out, looks like, for a little bit. No real gank's going to be coming in. We do see some pressure up at the top between the Singed and the Vladimir. No one will probably win out in that trade for a little while, although Singed does win before 9 if he can play his cards right.
If he can keep Vlad from getting, once Vlad gets about level 3 on that Q, he starts to really cool down.
Gank down in the bottom lane.
Corki gets hooked into the tower, though. Does not have a barrier anymore. Ashe flashes. I do not think she'll be able to get... Oh, gets it with the volley. Beautiful play by Ashe. Corki was not able to get behind his minions, and so Ashe was able to pick up first blood there with no retaliation.
We'll just use the directed cam, eh?
Back up into the top lane here. The CS, Vladimir with a small lead,
Oh, pretty even, yeah.
but Singed believe he is now out of flash charges, yes. So, and there's the Ignite going on to Singed. Ghost used by both them. Looks like Singed will not actually die here. Vlad not able to catch him. Oh! Singed does turn around to try and ignite him, and that turnaround actually gives Vladimir the kill. But here comes Ramus, and he will not continue to chase. So that is a kill for Vladimir over Singed. Slight CS lead. And this top lane is going to get very scary for Singed soon, because Vladimir will most likely be able to pick up his Hextech Revolver here. Goes with the Cage's lucky pick first, actually. And then picks up 2 more Amplifying Tomes. And elects not to go with a ward. Vlad does. Whereas you see Singed pick up the Negatron Cloak and the Rejuvenation Bead. Building towards the old Force of Nature. May it rest in peace. But, so Vladimir going with very offensive options, Singed going with very defensive options there in the top lane.
Very interesting choice by Ashe to pull out an Avarice Blade. She is 1-0 right now. She's a little bit behind in her lane in terms of farm. Not enough to actually really make a difference, but that Avarice Blade itself is pretty much going to make up all the differentials between the gold, between the two AD carries, and it will actually eventually put Ashe ahead. I'm not sure if she is going for that just specifically for the crit, or if she's trying to just get herself ahead in gold itself. But honestly, I've never seen an Ashe build that, so it is going to be very interesting to see how that goes. We'll see the farm of the Titans up there in the top lane. No one is really going to win out yet. It is still pretty even between the two top laners. There is a missed hook, unfortunately, by Blitzcrank, so the lane will just kind of reset.
Yeah. Now, you do have to keep in mind that the Avarice Blade does build into the static shift. Here comes a Jarvan coming in on the bot lane. Will he be able to land his EQ? Looks like he will. Ashe does not have flash, and she will go down. That is a kill picked up for Corki. They will most likely not be able to pick up a kill on Blitzcrank, but he is dropping extremely low. There's the Jarvan with the Dragon Strike to pick up the kill. So that is 2 kills on the bot lane there. That is a nice lead. That is a 500 gold lead for Kawaii Desu. And up at the top lane, Vladimir has a lot more damage than Singed. He's got several levels. His Q's on a fairly short cooldown now. He's going to be a big problem for Singed to try and deal with now.
So we are about 5 seconds. You're about 5 seconds ahead of me, I believe, there, Ryan, as I am watching on the stream, trying to cast what's going on the stream. So I'm not sure. I think it's because every time you try to do it, the stream freezes.
Yeah, every time I try and observe off the stream, which I'm not watching it,
there's a catch on to Jarvan. Jarvan in the jungle will be taken very low. We will see the ultimate shockwave coming up from Orianna. Everyone being taken very low here. I don't think any aggression is really going to continue. They will just back away. There was a blue buff stolen, but other than that, I don't think that Vigilante Gaming wants to chase onto this. They will let Kawaii Desu walk away from that one, and we got a little bit tense there, but we won't see any kills.
And in that exchange, because Ashe had died in that previous Jarvan gank on the bot lane, she was not level 6, did not have her Enchanted Crystal Arrow, or I feel that Vigilante Gaming would have decided to chase further into that. With her arrow, they would have had a much better source of initiation. Singed getting a fling on Vlad, but that does give him right next to Vladimir, which allows him to get an easy Q off on him. Singed burns his Ghost. His ultimate is also down. Vlad at nearly full health should be after queuing once or twice here.
Vlad is getting to that point in the lane where he becomes pretty difficult to take down without a gank, and despite the fact that there is a 2 gold lead here for Kawaii Desu, they are only up about 300 gold, so Vigilante Gaming doing really well to stay within the farming ranges of Kawaii Desu. We see pretty much everyone going even or a little bit ahead in terms of farm. The kills will be swinging a little bit more in the direction of Kawaii Desu on the people that they want, however. 1 for Corki, 1 for Jarvan, and 1 for Vladimir. And we will probably watch that Jarvan become a really big force coming into the mid game here.
Gank in the top lane here.
Ramus will get the taunt. No, it looks like Vladimir will pull away, but he will certainly get the taunt off. Taunt does come down. Ramus pops his ultimate. Vlad being taken very low. He will drop his Hemoplague. Will he be able to take down Singed? The Hemoplague will be going off. Ignite is ticking. It doesn't look like he will be able to get it. There is a clean pickup in the top lane for Vigilante Gaming.
Yep, and that's Vladimir not buying any wards when he came back to lane, and elects to go with a Haunting Guys for his next item. So he has the Cage's Lucky Pick and the Haunting Guys. Suppose he needs that as Stinge did go with the early Negatron Cloak, really reduces damage. And just looking at builds, both mid laners have a Chalice of Harmony. Syndra also going with a Tear of the Goddess in addition to her Chalice of Harmony. So 14 MP5 in addition, without factoring in masteries and such. Orianna choosing to go with Boots and a Chalice of Harmony.
Yeah, very interesting choice to see someone go both Tier and Chalice, because usually you'd only go for the one because the other will technically negate the other, both serving a purpose. I'm wondering what she's probably going to be building them both into. It looks like it'll probably be an Athene's and possibly an Archangel staff, but maybe this... maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but it seems a little bit redundant here and when you're coming into the early mid-game, but we could see that work out to her in her favor. We will see Rammus trying to come around the side here for a gank. Jarvan is pretty close. I don't think this gank is going to go anywhere, and Rammus will just stand off to the side, so no gank will be coming in there.
Usually the reason why a player won't go both items, both Chalice and Tier, is because if you go both of them, you vastly delay the completion of the other item. So going Tier along with your Chalice vastly delays your Athene's and Holy Grail, and going a Chalice along with a Tier vastly delays you from upgrading into a Archangels and eventually the Seraph's Embrace.
First dragon of the game will get taken by Kawaii Desu there. They are in a little bit of a bad place. We will possibly see an engagement. No, they will. Vigilante Gaming will back off over. In the top lane, Vladimir will get taunted away from his turret. Will they die this? He does get flipped by Singed. He is being taken very low here. I don't think he can survive this one, even with the tower dive. He will fall. Singed will just run into the jungle there. There's another clean kill for Singed. He's 2-1 right now over his Vladimir opponent.
Yep. Vladimir, despite having his pool, Rammus can still just continue to powerball and get an easy taunt off onto Vladimir every time he comes up from his pool. Vladimir should actually probably be waiting until after Rammus, allow himself to be struck by Rammus. Then he can just sort of turn around, pool, or even if he gets taunted at that point, he'll have his pool back up for when Singed comes in to also get his damage on, and he will be able to avoid either the fling or a portion of Singed's damage. As it is right now, he's pooling to run away, but he's not actually able to do anything because Rammus is still standing right there whenever he comes up from his pool.
Exactly. It's just one of those top lanes ganks that you can't really avoid. You are kind of doomed if you do, doomed if you don't. And we do see, even despite the 2 kills that Vigilante Gaming did pick up, Kawaii Desu does... they are keeping that 300 to 400 gold lead, which is purely at this point the Dragon. The farm is pretty even across the board here. And we probably will want to see Vigilante Gaming try to position for the next Dragon when it does come up here.
Yep. Corki is going that Triforce route. Ashe does have Berserker's Greaves and a Best Friend sword. We all know that's what the BF stands for. It stands for Best Friend, not anything else.
Absolutely right. Actually, when you take a look around the map right now, the vision is actually almost entirely from Kawaii Desu. There's they just ran out now, but there was about 5 to 6 wards on the map for Kawaii Desu, all around the Dragon and laning and popular lanes that they weren't able to. They were denying vision. We will see a bit of an aggression coming in here from the bottom lane. 3 players for each team in the bottom lane. Will we see a fight? It looks like both teams will just back off.
Singed using his ult up in the top lane. Vladimir ghosting away from him. I don't feel he needed to do that. All Singed would have been able to do was get a fling onto him, and the damage really wouldn't have been that great, but... Oh, Corki Valkyries in aggressively, but is not punished for that.
Yeah, that could have been possibly a problem there, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get in where he needed to be. We will see Singed try to go into the top lane here against Vladimir. Will just walk away again. Vladimir looks like he's just trying to run away still, and he does get flinged. He pops the Ignite, he pops the Hemoplague as well. He is going hard onto this Singed, trying to put as much damage on as he can. He won't be able to pick up the kill, so both players will just reset themselves. We did see a missed hook coming in from Blitzcrank. Rammus is around the side. It looks like both of these teams in the bottom lane lane are pressuring each other, but no one really able to pick up the advantage to start a fight.
And Rammus actually used his flash there to try and get onto Corki, but Corki simply just Valkyried away, so that is a completely wasted flash by Rammus there. Will not gain anything from it. And, no, Jarvan going to be coming in on the mid shortly, I believe.
Jarvan is swinging around here. Will he go for the gank? He will. He does catch on towards Syndra. Syndra is in a really bad spot here. I don't think she's going to be able to escape this, depending on who's going to pick the kill up. She does try to turn around, but Jarvan will pick the kill up, and Orianna will survive with that shield. That will put Kawaii Desu a little bit further ahead now, picking up almost a 7K gold lead.
Yep, there's about a K in the lead here for Kawaii Desu.
700, my apologies.
I really don't agree with how this Vladimir has been building. He built that honey, guys. I feel if he had have just picked up his Hextech revolver, the amount of health he gets back from simply having that single item is so great that even if he doesn't have to that he would not have to worry about Singed landing a fling on him, because he will heal up the damage that the fling and the poison does with 2 Qs.
I definitely agree with you there. There could be potential to build a little bit stronger against his lane opponent, but if we take a look at what's going on across the board right now, we're looking at the mid lane. 129's farm for Syndra, 123 for Orianna. Syndra does have that needlessly large rod, as well as a giant's belt, so she is building not only defensively, but pretty strongly as well. Other than that, we see Corki coming in with that Triforce build. BF Sword probably going to be a Infinity Edge from Ashe. Really, when you take a look at it, despite the gold advantage and the tower advantage that's going to be coming in surely here in just a sec, it's pretty even still.
I'm really confused by that giant's belt on Syndra, to be entirely honest. Still no boots on her. The giant's belt just doesn't make sense. This is a missed flash hook by Blitzcrank. But the giant's belt just doesn't make sense with the rest of her build. I mean, she could have sorcerer's shoes for an extra 100 gold over that giant's belt, which would increase her damage by a vast amount.
I think what she's doing is trying to build a little bit defensively, trying to make sure that she's able to stay alive to get the farm that she needs. She's doing pretty well, keeping ever so slightly ahead of the farm of Orianna, but she wants to transition into a strong mid-game champion who can assassinate someone, and in order to do that, she's going to need to survive. We could possibly see some aggression here up in the top lane. Rammus will walk into a bush without any vision there. He does get hemoplagued. Shockwave does come down. There's a pickup. The first kill is going to go to Orianna onto Rammus. We see Singe in a pretty bad place here, caught in between the Cataclysm. I don't think he'll be able to. They'll be able to pick him up. However, Jarvan not able to flame that back. That looks like it will just be a 1-for-0 in the favor of Kawaii Desu, and that will be the end of the fight.
And what you saw there, that was what Kawaii Desu plans to do with their ultimates. That was a beautiful Hemoplague into Cataclysm into Shockwave into a Cataclysm that just completely crushed down on Vigilante Gaming. There was really nothing any of those 3 champions could have done in that instance.
And if we're taking a look around the map right now, there's just no vision for either team in the top lane. So that was completely blind for Rammus, who just walked into the bush. Unfortunately, there was a trap sprung for him. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get away from that. We will see potentially. Looks like Corki wants to get some damage, and then there is a hook coming in from Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank will knock him up because the Sona Crescendo will come in, and we will see a chase coming in from Vigilante Gaming, but they won't. Looks like they won't be able to continue the fight there.
On a side note, Jarvan has had an Oracle sitting on him for a bit. Here comes Rammus to come in and gank, but J4 sitting there does have that Oracle, so he's been able to clear out numerous wards from Vigilante Gaming, denying them vision, making so his team, is able to be a lot safer.
4 people in the bottom lane. We could see some shifty play here.
Yes,
there is a ward. We'll spot out Syndra, so they know she's there. Would we see a turnaround? We see Orianna is sitting by the tower there. This is going to get a little bit sketchy here for both teams, as they're both doing the fight dance right now.
Corki hit by a Blitzcrank hook, and that's good night. Just absolutely obliterated.
And now the stream will see that. Unfortunately, Jarvan wasn't able to go back in for the Cataclysm. There will be a free kill. Syndra will pick up her first kill of the game. Will bring her to 1-1-0 with 149 CS. She is slightly ahead of her Orianna counterpart. She is pulling out a little bit more gold, 5,752 to the... Oh, dude, I lied. Orianna is still ahead with 6,100, but that will be one kill for Kawaii Desu, bringing the gold back within almost about 1,000.
Good play by them. Good play by Vigilante Gaming to get that kill there. Corky, unfortunately, did get hit with that Blitzcrank hook. Was not able to survive. Vladimir, in the meantime, has picked up a Giant's Belt. He has a blasting one, so... But also, I don't know whether he's going to be going for a Rylai's or an Abyssal Scepter first. I honestly can't tell. Either one's good and possible, but there's still no boots on him as opposed to the boots 2 of Singed. So another reason why he's been getting run down very easily recently.
Yeah, now that he's finally decided that he might start building, I believe he's going to be building, like you mentioned, that Rylai's. He does need boots. He currently just can't escape from that Singed, and there's just nothing he can do when he gets.
I think he's dead here in a moment. It looks like 3 are converging on the top lane.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It looks like they will try to catch him out. We will see Singed start the chase off. There will be the flip and the taunt coming in. No, he will. Vladimir will pull away. He's getting under his tower, and there goes the taunt. Syndra will be trying to put as much damage on as they can. Vladimir will fall. Syndra picks up another kill. 2-1 for that Syndra. She is doing very well here in terms of picking off opponents.
Rammus did almost go down that, but in the meantime, Kawaii Desu did pick up the dragon, and it looks like they will also be picking up the middle lane tower. So that's a kill onto a 1-2 Vladimir for a dragon and a mid lane tower.
Yeah, that is the definition of worth right there, absolutely.
Yeah, and Vladimir does go with that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, so he did pick that up. That'll be incredibly effective against that Singed. You know, he won't be able to run away quite as easily.
So we're looking at 2 towers here for Kawaii Desu, 1 for Vigilante Gaming. They've pulled ahead. Kawaii Desu have about a 2,000 gold lead right now. They're pulling ahead a little bit, but right now, honestly, at this point in the game, it can be one team fight that changes the whole dynamic of the game. Driving up in the top lane, going to try and get some farm down. He will get flipped by Singed. A little bit of damage coming down. Poison will be ticking. I don't think they'll be able to pick him off. There was a crescendo in the bottom lane as a gank from Rammus came on to the bottom, but I don't think they're going to be able to pick anything up, and both teams will just kind of walk away.
And but there's 4 in the bot lane now. And you see the Blitzcrank using his flash. Ashe getting very low. Those Corky rockets dealing a lot of damage.
5-5 right now, 1,000 gold lead. Still trying to look for these turrets. The game is going a little bit slow paced. Both teams kind of just feeling each other out, trying to figure out what the other team's going to be doing. We could potentially see some team fights starting fairly soon, as Dragon will be respawning in a couple of minutes here. Jarvan trying to get the knock up onto Singed, won't be able to really do any damage, as Singed is at this point in the game becoming that scary Singed we all don't really like to deal with.
Mid lane there, Vladimir was just getting that CS. Looks like he'll be going back to the top lane. His tower will most likely die here. Will be taken out by Singed, but he'll get most of that CS.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Orianna just taking a race. Orianna closing in on 200 farm. So is Syndra though as well. Both of them farming very well.
You're very right. Both of those two are the pinnacles of their team right now in terms of farm. Syndra is still pushing that mid lane. Unfortunately, Orianna is still a little bit ahead in the gold lead, although I don't know if that's going to be staying for very long, as Syndra does have the kill advantage. We will potentially
coming into the bot lane looking to try and get something done, but does get hooked there by Blitzcrank.
Will escape safely. He will just EQ out of there, and there will be a little bit of a reset here. I'm not sure right now if Vigilante Gaming want to be in this position, as there are 4 members in the bottom lane here from Kawaii Desu. Savior playing a pretty dangerous game right now. I don't know if they should be doing this, and they will back off smartly. They were outnumbered there, and we will see a bit of a reset here again.
Especially with 3 of those big ultimates, the Crescendo, the Shockwave and the Cataclysm right there. If Jarvan could have landed a multi-man Cataclysm there, that could have just spelled lights out for all three of those champions.
You're absolutely right. And honestly, what we're seeing right now is kind of just a slowdown of the whole game. No one really wants to make any moves. There's not really a whole lot of wards on the map right now from either team. 2 from Vigilante Gaming and none from Kawaii Desu. It doesn't look like the teams really want to group up right now. They're pretty content to just go farm the lanes and trying to get to the point where they can be 2 or 3 items into their builds. We probably will see this continue for the near future. I don't think either team really wants to start fighting just yet. We're only about 25 minutes into the game. We are in that mid-transition to late-game phase, and at this point it's going to be about catching kills. And we could see Sona actually...
Sona.
Yeah, absolutely. We could see Sona get caught here. There is the critical strike. The Ash arrow will come through. It looks like there's no way that Sona's going to be able to survive here. She will go down. Skeleton Bill on that Ash will pick up a kill. That will put him to 2-1. And we will see some more aggression coming in from Syndra in the mid lane. She will get turned around on here. It looks like they're going to try. There's a Cataclysm coming in from Jarvan. Will she get turned on? Absolutely. Orianna putting down a lot of damage, and Jarvan will pick up the kill there in the mid lane onto that Syndra.
Yep. And Orianna actually just completed at the exact same time both a Athene's Unholy Grail and a Rabadon's Death Cap.
That's very good. Rammus is going really hard here. Gets the taunt off onto Orianna, pulling them back out. Vlad will ulti in the Hemoplagues, going across Ashe and Corki dueling it out. Corki will get taken out. Rammus going down too. There's 2 kills right now. 3 kills for 0 in the favor of Kawaii Desu. They take the lead in that fight. Basically, it was just a turnaround, and it doesn't look like it's done yet. Vladimir is going to catch out Singed in the jungle. Singed will be going very low here. The Ignite is ticking, and Necromage on the Vladimir will pick up another kill. That is a 4 for 0 for Kawaii Desu. They will take the 2,000 gold lead off of that fight.
Sona did die very early in that whole series of events, but that ended up just being... There was just too much dive there from Vigilante Gaming without backup. Rammus... Ashe was under tier 2 tower tanking it while trying to fight a Corki who has a finished Bloodthirster and almost a Triforce. And she has her Infinity Edge and her Static Shiv, but that's not enough to fight under a tower.
I think what happened is that they thought that they could probably get the pick off onto Orianna, and I don't know if they realized that Vladimir was right around the corner, and because of that, they were just taking it all out there. Ashe is going to do a Crystalline Arrow onto Corki here. I don't think that she's going to be able to kill him, but she does get a good crit off. Corki will Valkyrie away. He's down to about half health. He will probably try to go back now to try and heal himself up. That was a very interesting play there coming in from Ashe.
She managed to save her tower with that play, though, so that was a lot of her. Corki probably going to stick around, get a few autos off, get a lot of health back because of his Bloodthirster. Should probably just go Rammus and Blitzcrank coming in. Rammus able to get the hook onto Corki. Gonna be here most likely. Corki probably gonna go down. And he does.
There he goes. There is a free pickup there for, that was a free pickup for Kawaii Desu. It doesn't look like the aggression is switched off here yet, though. Vlad will come in, Hemoplague onto 2 members here. I don't know if they're going to be able to pick up anybody else. Jarvan wants to get that Cataclysm off onto that Ashe. She is low. They will get the Rammus. I don't know if this is the target they wanted, but Rammus will probably go down here. He doesn't have enough defenses. The exhaust will come off, and Conan Troutman will pick up that kill onto his Orianna. He is currently 3-0. They will keep chasing, and there could possibly be a tower dive here. I don't know if they want to do this. Jarvan going in pretty hard here. Tower is hitting him off, but there will be the shockwave coming in from Orianna. Jarvan will go down by Syndra. Syndra will pick that up, but there will be probably another kill coming in here onto the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank goes down again. Double kill for Orianna. That was a huge play. 4 for 1 for Kawaii Desu. They are really winning these team fights pretty hard now.
Yeah, that shockwave, I was very questioning that when Jarvan decided to go in for that fight. I was, thinking, why is he doing that? But then I realized that shockwave absolutely tore through the health of the players of Vigilante Gaming.
That was just one after another, just picks off picks, and there was just nothing I don't think that they could do.
Nope, and also 2 towers in the bot lane, those kills, dragons up. It is warded though. Vigilante Gaming will know if they go to it. Oh, the pink ward does spot it. And they will be looking to start off that dragon. Corki I mean, Ramus does not have his own, does have home guards, but he's not able to get there quick enough, and Kawaii Desu does manage to pick up the dragon. So extending their gold lead to about 5,000 at this point.
Unfortunately, it looks like we are still a little bit behind onto what's going on, but we will try to get that fixed. There is a pick onto Rammus here in the mid lanes. The Ash Crystalline Arrow will come across, stopping Jarvan, but Rammus will still go down. Cataclysm will come out from Jarvan. Blitzcrank caught in the middle here. I don't think he's going to survive there. Vlad being taken very low as well. Singe, the chase is on. The pool will come out as well as the Ghost, but Singe is going to keep going. He will flip the Jarvan. Jarvan is the target they're going to go after right now, but Jarvan will EQ back. I don't think he's going to be able to get away. Skeleton Bill on that Ash will pick up another kill, and Singe is not done yet. He is still going after this Vladimir, but they will be able to get away. So that was a 1-for-1. Both teams were able to pick up the junglers. I think that was still a little bit more worth for Kawaii Desu, as they are still 6,000 gold ahead. We could probably see some Barons being started pretty soon here.
The Baron dance, I anticipate, will be happening shortly. I'd say within the next 5 minutes or so at the latest.
Just wanted to check with the people who are watching the stream. We are currently trying to cast off the stream instead of the actual game, which the game is currently 5 seconds ahead. Is there a little bit of a delay in our streaming still, our casting from the game? Yes, and it's hilarious. I don't know what the technical difficulties are then. I have no idea why there's so much of a delay, even though we're casting. We have to cast what's going on in the stream.
Well, I'm casting from the game because because I can't actually cast from the stream, or else the game pauses for whatever unfathomable reason. OBS is OP.
I'm trying to cast from the stream itself, because I figured that would be. I think we're just the Skype call is delayed then in that case. I don't know. But we probably will see a fight here. Jarvan will try to go in onto that Syndra. He will get the EQ knock up. Syndra being taken very low. Does get a 3-man stun and will turn it around, but won't be able to take anybody out. Meanwhile, Jarvan did catch 3 members from Vigilante Gaming. Rammus will go down, but Ash is turning on some seriously good damage. Just gets a double kill onto that Corki, and that Jarvan will be taken down. Double kill for Orianna. That was a 3-for-2 exchange, so still coming out on top is Kawaii Desu, and they will look to push this middle lane.
They do have the Orianna and the Vlad still alive, so a lot of their damage is still up. Even if Singe wants to come in here, he's going to have to be very careful.
You're absolutely right. We could potentially see a dive onto the tower once it goes down. It looks like we will. There will be some damage going on to the Hemoplague. Does get dropped onto Singe, but he won't be taken out. Still fighting it out. There was the flip there.
There's the home guard Rammus. Actually, Rammus will flash in there. Looks like Vlad will not survive this time. Does pick up the counter kill onto Blitzcrank though, and there's the Orianna Shockwave, that incredibly short cooldown, and that's actually a massive turnaround. Holy crap.
A double kill
for
Orianna, for Vladimir. 9-0 Orianna right now.
That Shockwave was absolutely immaculate onto both of them, pulling them in. And Vladimir with that pool right now on Vladimir. His pool is sitting on only a 10.7 second cooldown. So that comes up very, very quickly at this point in these games. He can easily dodge multiple skill shots in a team fight.
We'll see the Baron get picked up there. Jarvan does want to go aggressive here. He will go over the wall. There is the Cataclysm coming in from Jarvan, and Corki trying to follow up. Ash will just take Corki to the cleaners. Ash is going to continue this. She will be able to take down that Jarvan and potentially double kill. I would lie. Double kill coming in from Orianna onto that Ash. That Orianna right now is 11-0. She is a scary mid laner. And Kawaii Desu is just really taking a hold of this game. I don't think there's much that Vigilante Gaming can do right now.
There's a hook and a taunt onto Vladimir, but I mean, his healing is just absurd at this point. He's getting so much. There's a 3-man Hemoplague. Takes out the Rammus. There's the Shockwave coming in. Vladimir gets his heal off.
He's still alive.
As long as he doesn't come up in the poison, which he did. Oh, and Orion's shield is just a second too late. If he had have ran down in his pool, he would not have gone into the poison, and he probably would have been able to live there. But as you can see, there's a huge wave built up in the bottom lane here of minions for Kawaii Desu. Looks like he's going to put a bit of damage onto the tower, but Singed will be there to clear it up. Vladimir finally finishing off his Will of the Ancients, so finally he has Spell Vamp, because his healing wasn't already absurd, and a Spirit Visage finished off for him, and a Leandri's Torment.
Vlad is that big, tanky Vlad we all hate to play against, and at this point in the game, he is at that late game stage where he can do very crazy things. And right now, what we're watching is just Kawaii Desu take over the game. They have vision. They have wards all across the map. They know when Dragon's coming up. They have the Baron timer. They're pretty much farming the jungle of Vigilante Gaming. It's, at this point right now, Vigilante Gaming needs to pretty much just fight underneath the tower and hope for the best. If they can get a pick or two, that's good. But I think the best thing they could do right now is hope that Blitz can pull one of their weak people into the base and get a kill so that they can, just wait.
I mean, Orianna does have Orianna's shield is at about 600 HP now, with all of her AP. So that's a huge shield on a fairly short cooldown. I believe it's only a 5-second cooldown.
And Ashe could be the thing that turns around this game for Vigilante Gaming. We will see Jarvan going pretty deep. The Vlad ultimate will come across. There is a 3-man crescendo. We will see 3 people be dropped right now. Ashe is on a double kill. She does take down the 2 strongest people of Corki and Jarvan. Triple kill coming in from Ashe. Vlad will go down. There's another kill being picked up there. Ashe will eventually get taken down here by Orianna. The chase is on right now for Orianna. She will try to turn it around actually onto that Singed, but she won't be able to. 4 for 3 right now is the score, and ironically, in what we were just talking about, Vigilante Gaming was able to turn a fight around.
I believe that fight was turned around for them as Corki actually died in the front. Corki Valkyried in to the middle of the fight and was instantly just eviscerated. I feel if he had have stayed at the back and just fired off rockets and auto attacks, it probably would have been a 1 fight for Kawaii Desu and possibly just an ended game. But he got too aggressive, Valkyried in, and just got absolutely shredded down. Looks to be going for a Black Cleaver for his 3rd item. Rammus sitting on 2 Giant's belts right now. Last Whisper, a long way off for Corki. Now, there's actually not a whole lot of armor from Vigilante Gaming. Singed, mostly just having magic resistance.
Yeah, you're up. At this point, this is getting pretty scary.
27-7, nearly 10k gold lead. Syndra does purchase her Archangels, but it's still a few stacks off from a Seraph's Embrace.
I think with that Seraph's Embrace, she'll be able to survive in team fights longer. Orianna's 14-0 right now, and honestly, yeah, completely full build. That's incredibly scary. 1 shockwave onto more than 1 target is not, especially if Ashe gets caught in that. That is just not what you want. That can be game ending at this point. She's at 296 farm. She is very, very strong.
Orianna's Shockwave dealing almost 700 damage. Her command attack is dealing around 400. Her command dissonance is dealing around 700. So she can almost take Ashe 100-0 with a QW and an ult.
Yeah, and with Ignite on top of that, she can pretty much assassinate almost anybody that she wants at this point. And we will see the Baron come up. We have about 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go on that, maybe a minute 40. And once that comes up, I think Baron might be the place where we see this game either go one way or the other.
I think at this point it ends if Ashe or Corki live, the game is over after the next fight, because they will be able to just take multiple towers and really just snowball the game to the point of unstoppability. Just want to shout out a thank you to Riot for adding those Baron and Dragon timers into the basic spectator mode. it makes this sort of stuff way easier.
Yep, I don't even have to think about it, which is awesome. We'll see some pressure. 5 men from Kawaii Desu up in the top lane. Gonna try and get this top lane tower. I don't think there is a position where there could be a defense here, but we will see that Asher come across. It looks like Vigilante Gaming wants to go aggressive here. They will couch out. Orianna is down. She will be the first one to be dropped here, but the Hemo play comes across onto 4 members. And Kawaii Desu is turning this around. Ash not really able to do anything. Double kill coming in from Vladimir, and Singe is still in the back line wreaking havoc, but I don't think there's anything he can really do. He's gonna get caught out here, and he's just forced to run. There will be a chase coming in from Vladimir. I don't think that's the wisest idea. They should just probably turn around and try and get that tower. Syndra is still alive, but Corki will Valkyrie in against her. She will be taken down. That is a 4-4-3 so far for the favor of Kawaii Desu, but it's not over yet. Singed is going to try and get away. He is just walking away from that. Don't chase the Singed, ladies and gentlemen. And he will try to go back in. Singed will get aced, however, unfortunately. Vladimir will pick that up with his pool. And at this point, as we mentioned, if one of the carries stays up, Ryan, this could be game. They will certainly get at least an inhibitor turret off of this.
I just noticed a purchase come across my screen that I had not been able to realize yet. Blitzcrank currently has an Archangel staff with more than half stacks.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
His mana shield actually very large at this point. It's an 800 damage shield when his mana shield activates. So yeah, that's a thing that I didn't realize. I feel that the money for that Archangels, for the tier and the everything, would be much better spent on an Oracles and more wards for him. But you know, sometimes you gotta do
something.
Play AP Crank.
Sometimes you just gotta pull out something that no one else has seen in a really long time. Maybe he's trying. I mean, the thing that I can think of that he would be using that for is just a big tank in the team fights. When his shield goes up, he's just more damage they have to put on. So, you know, I think that this could actually work out for him if they are able to kind of hold off. And we are kind of seeing the fights get a little bit closer. Despite the fact that there is a pretty big goal differential between the two teams, we are seeing the fights maybe be just played a little bit sloppy. But here is the Dragon start here.
Baron started off there.
Or sorry, Baron, my apologies, yes.
No vision on that for Vigilante Gaming, and I can't imagine that they will be able to do anything about that. And, yep, it's going to be a free Baron for Kawaii Desu. You know, almost all of them level 18. Pretty much
a rape bush. A little bit of a rape bush thing going on there, but they will get spotted by the Orianna. I thought that could have turned into something pretty excellent. But no, it will look like they will find them there. Vigilante Gaming forced to back away. They're not able to really get what they wanted to get going there. Blitz is looking for these pulls, though, so we could see something going on there. Jarvan looking pretty aggressive.
My God.
Wow, we just saw all the ultimates just get chained together. Everyone right now is just dropping so low. Kawaii Desu pulls out the combos that we were talking about, that Orianna Sona combination with Jarvan.
Flat ult, Shockwave, Hemoplague.
And that will be the game, ladies and gentlemen. There is the ace. Jarvan picks up the final kill, and that will be game 1 coming into Kawaii Desu.
That team composition from them, I mean, they kind of had this game on lock before that fight, but that fight just demonstrated why composition such as this is so strong. That was a pretty much as perfect a play out of those ultimates as they could have gotten there.
That was, as mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, that was game 1 out of the best of 3 between Kawaii Desu and Vigilante Gaming. Kawaii Desu does take game 1. We unfortunately are experiencing technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on in terms of the delay, and I do apologize for that. We are going to try and get that fixed while we're in the intermission here, while we take a quick break. So we will try and fix that. If possible, Ryan, would you be able to mute so that the stream can't hear us? That way we can try and get stuff fixed here.
Let me try something.